Marcus Rashford's situation is absolutely embarrassing. This is a footballer who has done his part for society, playing at the top level of English football, being negatively portrayed by the media, all because he showed up the newspaper's biggest clients, the Tory Party.
After all, they know what it feels like to have Marcus Rashford run rings round them.
I'm just hoping that the government make a U-turn on the decision to stop the free meal vouchers.
Don't get it twisted, the general portrayal of black footballers in England is nothing short of underlying or perhaps wide open racism. Remember when Raheem Sterling was lambasted by media organisations for having a tattoo of a gun on his leg? He was told by anti-gun campaigners he should never play for England again. He was told he was glorifying the use of weapons. But when it came to Phil Foden using a gun for a celebration, the same energy was never provided. The former Man City footballer had a very personal reason for the gun tattoo. His father was shot in Kingston, Jamaica when he was a child. It symbolised the death of his dad, whereas Phil Foden's reason, his nickname in training is the Sniper. Look, I have no issue with either of these situations, and I think both are perfectly fine, but the hypocrisy is clear to see. And now once again, Marcus Rashford is the poster boy for internal racism for Britain's largest media companies. This is not a defence of the now Aston Villa forward, who has quite frankly been underperforming for quite some time and has been touted to have work ethic problems in training and hasn't been applying himself quite as he should at Manchester United the last while.
Amorim's comments about Marcus Rashford, it's always the same reason, the training.
But what Marcus Rashford does on the training ground should have no correlation to whether or not the Englishman wants to build a golf course. The headline here is completely negative, bitten off more than he can chew. What even is this? This is not journalism. In contrast, Phil Foden's house is described as being part of an amazing lifestyle in his £3 million Cheshire mansion. Marcus Rashford's £2.5 million Cheshire mansion is still not finished 4 years after he bought it. Honestly, who cares? What does this have to do with anything? How is this public interest? Back in 2016, there were headlines titled, Man United hero Marcus Rashford moves his mum to luxury £800,000 pad in leafy suburb. It was a positive headline for Rashford, showcasing his kind soul to move his mum and even calling him a hero. Marcus Rashford will set world alight, gushes England and Manchester United teammate Ashley Young, reads another headline in 2018. Once again, quite positive. Kick up king, 199 kick-ups and then a selfie. Marcus Rashford dazzles fans in park with incredible skills. Again, positivity. Another reads, Manchester United star Marcus Rashford is looking to future after investing 2.5 million of his riches in just 1 year. Canny England star set up his firm in 2016 with just £100 and is now raking it in on and off the pitch. Canny used here is of course a positive word. There are plenty of other examples you can find on reporting around Marcus Rashford before 2020. The majority actually have positive sentiments, but the same can't be said for after. So what happened in 2020? And why did it change? Well, Marcus Rashford stood up to the Tory Party, promising to help feed the hundreds of thousands of starving children. And who are the biggest donors and mates of the Daily Mail and the Sun and such papers? The Tory Party. Do you see where this is going? Just look at this headline. Even when Rashford is doing something positive, the media still can't go fully positive. Second part, he's on a mission to get every kid cooking. It's uplifting. But the first part about him never peeling a carrot subtly makes him seem out of touch. For some people, this reinforces the stereotype that wealthy footballers don't have basic life skills that most people do. And if you sit there and think it's just a headline, it's not. Headlines matter because they set the tone before you even read an article, often without you realising it. This is what we call framing bias. The way something is presented influences how we perceive it. Before you even start reading, you've already been told that Rashford doesn't know how to do something as simple as peeling a carrot. Framing bias is when the way something is said or shown changes how you feel about it. Imagine two people talking about the same thing. For example, the first sentence, this dog is super friendly and loves to play. 2. This dog jumps on people and won't leave you alone. Both are about the same dog and both are describing the same situation. But one makes you feel good about it and the other makes it seem annoying. That is framing bias. It's when words or pictures make you see something in a certain way before you even think about it yourself. While both effectively tell you what is going on, the way it is framed already tells you what way to view the story. And now it seems Marcus Rashford is once again the target for the conservative papers. With his newsworthy move to Aston Villa, those at media organisations such as The Sun and the Daily Mail said, oh yes, even more ammunition to use against this man. When Rashford was announced by Villa on February 3rd, in the day of and the day after, the 3rd and 4th of February, the Daily Mail tweeted 12 articles about Rashford. 12. Most of which were negative. They talk about his rough appearance, they say he is bringing baggage to Aston Villa, and they talk about his rise and fall. The British media's treatment of Marcus Rashford is a textbook example of how narratives are shaped to fit a certain agenda. When he was simply a young, talented footballer rising through the ranks, the headlines were overwhelmingly positive. But the moment he used his platform to challenge the establishment, specifically the Tory Party, the tone changed. The same newspapers that once celebrated his generosity and talent suddenly turned against him, scrutinising his every move, attacking his character, and spinning even his neutral or positive actions into negatives. This isn't just about Rashford, it's about the broader pattern of how black footballers are covered in the media. Time and time again, we've seen the double standards, the hypocrisy, and the underlying racial bias in the way these players are reported on. From Sterling to Rashford, the message is clear: stay in your lane, play football, and don't challenge the status quo. The moment a player steps outside of that mould, the media turns on them. Framing bias plays a massive role in this. It's not just about what is reported, but how it's reported. Rashford's investment in property is framed as reckless, while Phil Foden's is framed as aspirational. His decision to build a golf course is portrayed as a distraction, while other players' luxury purchases are seen as part of a well-earned lifestyle. These differences in language are not accidental. They are deliberate choices made by editors and journalists who know exactly what they're doing. The recent surge in negative headlines since Rashford's move to Aston Villa only reinforces this pattern. The Daily Mail's 12 articles within a short span of time, many of them focusing on his supposed decline, baggage, and even appearance, show a clear intent to shape public perception against him. If this level of scrutiny were applied equally to all footballers, it would be one thing, but it's not. The same grace afforded to others is consistently denied to Rashford. Ultimately, this is about more than just football. It's about power, influence, and the way the media upholds certain structures while tearing down those who challenge them. Rashford's efforts to fight child hunger should have been universally celebrated, yet they made him a target. His move to Aston Villa should have been a fresh chapter in his career, yet it has been turned into another opportunity to drag him down. Marcus Rashford may be the target right now, but his treatment by the media highlights a larger troubling pattern that continues to affect black footballers. The cycle of praise when they stay in line and criticism when they challenge the status quo is one that needs to be addressed. It is a problem that is right there to see. It is not being hidden. Rashford is in the sights of the right-wing media now, but the moment another young black footballer tries to go against the perceived political stance of the owners of these media organisations, you can bet they will be targeted next. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and leave a like and comment letting us know your thoughts on this Rashford situation. Is there anything we can do to combat it, or will we simply just have to call it out when we see it?